So, did anyone go to Rhinebeck? If you did go to Rhinebeck, how was it? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy the beautiful weather? Did you get a lot of yarn? Does anyone even need yarn? Hi, welcome back to Be Extra. This is a knitting podcast by me, Stephanus. Um, be brave. Be extra is to be brave. Knit what you want and really love what you knit. Um, if this is your first time watching the YouTube, this YouTube is to support everyone's creativity. Sometimes I talk about my travel on top of my knitting, and also I also support arts and also science. I have a science background, but I love to knit during my downtime. Um, and if you have been here before, welcome back. I'm just trying to recap. I know. I'm sure you have seen 1,000 YouTube video of Rhineback recap. So I'm not going to do the same thing where I'm going to show you all kind of yarn and trying to sell you yarn. I'm I never like to show a lot of yarn and the yarn information anyway. I might have shown that before in my previous episode. But to me, what I really enjoy is to share ideas or inspiration from what I see. It could be a scenery, it could be colors or pattern in the wild, or even another sweater that somebody was wearing that or shawl or whatever that I like to incorporate to my own garment or whatever I want to make. So what I'm thinking for my recap, I would like to go over some inspirations that I found during my Rhineback trip, and also somewhat recap of how the trip itself. um yeah, I'm not going to show any yarn. I know this is maybe you're looking for another YouTube of Rhinebeck recap, that you want to look at yarn from somebody or anyone who has gone to Rhinebeck and see what they picked up. But I think I will show the yarn anyway when am working on them. So I am planning to show the yarn in the next episodes, but when I actually am working on them, because I just don't feel like showing, okay, here another skein of yarn, blah blah blah, and that's it. Like, I mean, I'm not a yarn store or a yarn dyer, so uh but I really love sharing ideas. So if this is something that you like, stay tuned. We'll have we'll have a good time. Get your knitting, sit down, get your drink. It is 8:48 p.m. Friday night. When I'm recording this, hopefully I get this out before midnight, but who knows? Sometimes YouTube, will just take a while to upload things. But the reason I'm recording it on a Friday night, because I have so many things to do in the weekend, like tomorrow, that if I wait until the weekend, I might not have time to actually record things or even go live, and then before I knew it, I will just the whole week will pass by, and then I will have the next week to still talk about something that has passed for 2 weeks. So I feel like, all right, tonight I can just stay home and knit and record. All right, okay, that's such a long introduction of what I'm going to talk about. But all right, so Rhinebeck. What do we do? we meaning my group. So our Rhineback group, we have 5 people in the group. Two of them, me and another person, came from Jersey, and then 3 others they flew in from Chicago, Boston, and LA. Uh, we started early Thursday morning, so the first flight landed at 5:30 in the morning in Newark Airport, and that is my friend Chester, that came from Los Angeles. So I picked up Chester, and then we waited for the other group, or the other, 2 other people that landed at between 7 to 8, which is Ivana from Boston and then Eva from Chicago at the end. And then we started our. I will put some pictures throughout this YouTube, so I will edit in some pictures and some clips of video. Yeah, if I remember or if I have time. And then, so I was wearing this the first day, which is Thursday. Um, oh, the first weekend day. Anyway, the first Rhineback trip day. And this is a Vika sweater by Veronique Avery, which was designed for Brooklyn tweeds. But I'm not using Brooklyn tweeds for this. I'm using Les Garçons British DK, and I covered this in an episode back in February because I remember I worked on it during the St. Valentine's weekend, or the Valentine's Day weekend, uh, in which I went to Greece, Athens, Greece, for a vacation. And if you would like, to see the cover, Rich, or me talking about, my process on making this, go back to, that previous episode. It's pretty nice. It was pretty cold that morning, I think in the 40s, or if not in the high 30s. So I picked up Chester, and then we were waiting for the other people at a nearby Starbucks. And then at some point we had breakfast when we were waiting for the last flight, which was Eva from Chicago. And then we made our way up north of New York. We were planning to go to Culinary Institute of America, but we did not make it because we stopped at a random yarn store in upstate New York. And why is it's funny because this is not our first attempt to go to Culinary Institute of America on our way up to Rhinebeck. So 2 years ago, when we first went to Rhinebeck as a group, we also tried to go stop by at Culinary Institute of America at the Apple Pie Bakery because they open until 2 p.m. But on the way there for that first year that we went, we stopped at a random winery in upstate New York, and we spent 3 hours or so, and then we pretty much missed our time window to catch the apple pie before they closed because it was pretty much sunset by then. And we continued with dinner, and then we got to the Airbnb really late at night that year. But this year, we since we already had breakfast in New Jersey, we were not too hungry, so we were thinking when we started driving up, it was 11 in the morning, and it was about 2.5 hours to get to Hyde Park, where CIA is, which is not too far already from Rhinebeck. So we were like, all right, maybe we just stop by at a local yarn store on the way up before we go to CIA. But then when we stopped at a local yarn store, we just finished. I mean, we stayed, we stayed at the yarn store for a while. So we again missed the time to catch the apple pie bakery. Um, so the running joke now is, well, let's try again next time we go to Rhinebeck to CIA. And the funny thing is, I keep talking about CIA to everyone who, in the group. But they're like, yeah, we don't know what CIA is because we always talk about it, but you never, make sure we get there. But anyway, it's a running joke now. But if you have, the chance to stop by the Culinary Institute of America, during your Rhinebeck trip. It is a nice treat because the CIA in New York is basically the master level of the cooking academy. So they have the undergrad level in California side, the in St. Helena, in the Sonoma County, in you know north of San Francisco. But here it is the master level, so basically the continuing uh, level of the cooking school. And they have three restaurants and one bakery. The restaurants, you have to make an appointment well ahead, meaning in the summer you need to make an appointment for the fall semester, because the restaurant is run by the students. So the cashier students, our students, the chef, the what do you call, the waiters. So it's kind of like their laboratory, and public can go there to dine, but you need to make an appointment because there's a certain amount of tables per day. And also the thing there is you cannot tip them with money, because this is their class. But even though the food costs you a certain amount of time, amount of price, but you cannot tip the student with money. But you can leave them a feedback on a card. So they will provide you with a card at the end, and then you can write any suggestions to whoever that you feel like giving feedback. For example, if you find your meal to be exquisite, or if you want to praise like a technique that you see, or if you see the sommelier that was helping you to understand what you were asking them, or if the waiter that helps you actually understand what the menu is when you ask them to explain you, then that will help the students in their class that they're taking that semester. So I really love Culinary Institute of America, and it's not too far from where I live. So on the way to Rhinebeck, or in the fall, I make sure I visit once, at least once. So since we did not make it this time, I will definitely try to make it sometimes this fall. Anyway, so that was Thursday. And then we take some pictures. I will put some pictures here at a national park, which is oh man, the family name of Anderson Cooper family. I will put the name somewhere here. We take some pictures, and then we went to the Airbnb. The Airbnb is a gorgeous chalet in Socrates. We have a lot of space. Down there's a basement, which is huge basement, and then Chester took the whole basement, and then the main level has two bedrooms, and the was it two bedrooms in the main level? No, one bedroom. And then the top level, the second level, has a bedroom and a foyer. So we have a lot of space. And yeah, we were just, enjoying our time. And so on Friday, um, we went to Cake Palooza, and we went to indie untangled. So Cakepalooza. The only thing about Cakepalooza this time, we went there for the 10 a.m. one. And then we got there exactly when we everyone is about to get into the parking lot. Somehow it was a little bit, um, I would say, chaotic in the waiting, because the waiting line was on along the narrow street, and then you know uh, the street is two ways, and then it's narrow, and people are lining up on the street on the way there, because the parking lot across the Cake Palooza was closed off. I don't know what is the deal. So, and I was driving, so I had to drop off my friends, while people are already lining up, while there was another, or there were some cars coming from the other direction, and we can see that they're locals. They're a little bit annoyed with people, they were making some gestures in their car, and I was, afraid that, we will crash or something. So it was a little bit, that part, I wish, they will just close off that road or reroute people. So, but the Cake Palooza itself is good. I got, uh, my sister asked me to make a cardigan, that is, to for Christmas this year, because this year we're going to have a family reunion in London and in Scotland, Edinburgh, Borough. Anyway, um, I've never been to the UK. It's my first time, but my younger sister, has been there. But anyway, I found some fluff. Oh no, alpaca wool, so it's really fluffy. And since I have started casting it on, I can show it. But it's pretty much, I have to stop, um, continue from working on it, because I have to finish what I'm doing right now, which I will talk about. But this is the start of it, and it's going to be, um, a a cardigan. It is going to be a cardigan. Okay, a cardigan, and it's my own design. It's called Giotto cardigan, which is a variation of my Giotto sweater, which is this guy right here. Oh, this is gonna be a good, um, front page picture. So yeah, so this is my own design, and I've talked about this so many times. Basically, inspired by Cappella degli Scrovegni, in Padova, Italy. Um, inside, smells so good. Inside this chapel, there are paintings by Giotto. The entire surface area of the inner part of the chapel, and this is just depicting that, painting. So there are stars on the sky, on the ceiling, and then the structures of the chapel. And so I made myself this from a mohair and a single wool, and then, I already made, my mom the similar thing, and I also already talked about this many times before. So I made my mom a tunic. So with similar design, as you can see, but it's a V-neck, and then it's a long tunic for her, and then it's a split, side or front side. And the other design element here is, this part is pure wool, but this one is, sorry, this one is pure mohair, but this is, the body is mohair plus wool. Um, And I also talk about this in previous episodes. You can have a look. So yeah, so um, yeah, this is from Le Garçon and Walcott yarn called the Fluff. Why am I called Fluff? Yeah. And I will talk more about this in the uh, upcoming episodes because I need to finish that before December. Meanwhile, I was working. When I was there, I was working on this guy, which is a simply the vest, which is a new. Um, so this is a test knit that I do for Jules Pecca Design. Um, I will also put some information here, but this is pretty simple V-neck, and so I am making the cardigan for my little sister. So I'm making this for my older sister, and then I already made for my mom. I already made for my nephew and niece throughout the year. So pretty much everyone in the family that are going to London will have something to wear because it's going to be winter time. But this one is using Cumbria by the Fiber Company. So it's basically Peruvian wool and mohair. It's really beautiful. I love it. It's simple. So it's top down, and then I will pick up later the sleeves and the neck, and then do the ribbing. But at the moment, it is just round and round. And the reason why I cast on this guy while working on this, while being monogamous knitter, is that on the way up to Rhinebeck, I only have one skein of this guy. So the previous week, before I went to Rhinebeck, I ordered four more skein of this. However, it did not make it to my house in time for the Rhinebeck trip. So I was just working on, like the beginning of this guy with that yarn, a ball, until I finished that ball of yarn. And when I finished that ball of yarn was the day we were in Cake Palooza, so I started working on this guy right here. But then when I got home, I continue working on this because I just wind the four skein of yarns just into yarn balls and then just continue this. And then Saturday is the day. We also went to Perfect Blend yarn store in Socrates, and we actually met Jules at the Perfect Blend yarn store. And then Saturday was the actual Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck is and will always be overwhelming for me. It's just too many things to see, too many people, or a lot of people, and not just that, but I feel like just to look at yarn, you have to stand among people, like 3 layers of people in front of you just to look at yarn, most of the places. So actually, I think I will have to do a special mention. I did say I was not going to show any yarn, but this is really special to me. I would say this is one of the inspiration that because of that I will break my own rules, and I will show a yarn, and that's it. So when I was, let me just get this first. Yes. So when I was in Rhinebeck, yeah, the festival itself on Saturday, I stayed at the barn side. I did not even make my way to the building, which is where all the food is, the wine. Why? Because I mean, I've been to Rhinebeck multiple times. That those buildings, I cannot stand the people. Not the people, but the amount of people. And there's always the area where what is that yarn, like Miss Babs, and people are too many people. Like, come on, it's not that serious. It's yarn. I can wait, or I can even skip the whole craziness of just to look at yarn. You have to, I don't know, elbow people. No, it's not my thing. The barn I can handle. Somehow the barn, they're much smaller than the building, but not as many. Like, it's a little bit more enjoyable. Anyway, what is even more enjoyable is this um, booth, or not booth, but space in the barn. I forgot. I think it's number 36, barn number 36. Not many people, or barely anyone in that yarn booth area, not what a space area. And I noticed they are showing only cardigans or sweaters that are made for male or male representing individuals. So I don't know. Maybe if you're showing, samples for male or man, not a lot of people from, like what you would think of regular visitor or average visitor for a yarn festival might not want to visit, like a space where they're only showing samples for men. But that is actually one of my wishes when I go to yarn festival, to see a space where they're showing a lot of samples for men's or men's pattern. Uh, so I was surprised. I was delighted. I was so thankful. It was like just escaping from a sea of people while still in the barn, and having my time to just roam around the space, take my time to look at the samples connected with the yarn that they are selling, and then getting inspiration of what I want to make with them. And on top of that, they're having a really beautiful discount. Basically, you buy 3 skein of fingering yarn, you get 1 skein for free. So basically, if you're making a vest, or even if you're making what, so for like 1,600 yards, that could be a full fingering weight, sweater. But anyway, um, so the name of the farm or the company is Browder's Birds LLC, and they're from Medituck, New York, from Long Island. And I used to live in Long Island, so I know exactly where they are. But I got this um, color. Oh, they don't put the color. Huh, interesting. Which is good. It's 100%. So it says heritage sheep, rare wool, um, and 400 yards, 100 grams. But really farmy yarn. I guess 2 ply. I don't know, but this is one of the inspiration. I mean, the booth is one of the inspiration that I got. So, you know, but after that, we already, so we, earlier in the day, we already got our cider donut. So we already took picture. I will put all this picture. We already took picture of the tree, the across the cider donut place. So after I got that yarn from that barn, I'm done. I just went to our meeting point because we chose a meeting point for the group in case we got lost or we don't have any phone reception. So I just stayed in the meeting point, knit this because I was out of yarn for this. So I just, cast on this guy and then just enjoying the time, beautiful weather. I did not go to to the hill to meet the celebrities, YouTube celebrities and their followers. Not my thing. I will never do that. I have a YouTube. Anyway. People do whatever they want, um, you know. And I was trying to find those people who are not wearing whatever everyone else is wearing. Like, come on, like 1,000 people wearing the same sweater. Okay, sure, if it's your thing, but I'm I always look for those people who are original, creative. That's my inspiration, but I don't know, not a lot. Um and I mean, it's no judgment from my side. It's just oh, be extra, people, be extra. I'm pretty sure people are like, unsubscribe. I don't like this guy. But hey, that's me. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, I was wearing this. I talk about this all the time. Um, my inspiration was the papillon shawl, so I just converted that into a sweater. Fingering weight, blah blah blah, beautiful. I was not overheated because it did get up to 60 something. It was beautiful. Love, 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 love this. I have been wearing this even after I got here. I wore this to the office. People want to buy it. I'm like, no. Yeah, and then we got out when they closed at 5, no, 4 something. Uh, we made a mistake to, wait until the last minute to get out of Rhinebeck on Saturday because there was a 2-hour traffic just to get to Socrates from Rhinebeck. Anyway, let's not talk about it. We were tired. We just went directly to the same restaurant that we went the night before because we know there's not gonna be a lot of people. There's not a lot of celebrity knitters going and their fans there. So we sat down, just knit, quiet, and then get the food. The food is amazing. I forget the name, but doesn't matter. But just knitting and sitting down with the people that you care and that you're connected with. It's not every day, right? Even though, yes, you go to your local yarn store to go sit and knit. Again, unpopular opinion. Sometimes sit and knit. Sometimes people can just be quiet. Like a lot of time I go to sit and knit. I'm like, oh my god, please be quiet. Like, please, I don't need to know your medical history. Like, please don't talk on the phone to your pharmacy, like telling them what your prescription is. I mean, like, come on, people. This is why no one is following this YouTube. But just sit, knit, quiet, talk about design, talk about inspiration. Stop talking about your medication. Like, I don't need to know that you need to update your medication. My God. I mean, sorry. Anyway, um, and then we came back. Um, was that the same day? Because that was Saturday. Yeah. Oh, okay. The day before for dinner after Indie, we actually went home and then sat on the patio and and knit. So anyway, we spent a lot of time knitting and blah blah blah. And after that, we um this Sunday I think we spent time at the house that we were at the chalet until 11 o'clock, and then we drove back down to Jersey, go to Newark, drop my friends at Newark, and then I went home. So yeah, so that is it. Um, as I said, I'm not gonna show a lot of yarn. I mean, I showed one yarn. That's it. I'll definitely show all the yarn in the future episodes when I'm working on them. But hopefully everyone who went to Rhinebeck had a good time. I know this Rhinebeck has been the best weather since I started going to Rhinebeck. Hopefully that is the same experience for a lot of people. Um, Tell me in the comment if you don't agree with me about sit and knit. If you agree with me about sit and knit, like what do you like to do when you knit with people? Do you like when it's really loud? Do you like to to understand everyone's medication? Like really, like if you ask me, do not tell me about your medication. And also, I'm working for a pharmaceutical. Please do not ask me about opinion about anything, because if anyway, I should not talk about that. Um, um, what else? Yeah, hopefully you have a good time. If you did not go, hopefully this has kind of painted a picture, um, or give you some, some ideas, or maybe some inspiration to visit at some point in the future. It's a good festival. I am happy. I'm so happy I live in an area that is not too far from Rhinebeck. Um, I guess I really like this area. I really like living in the East Coast. Not just for the yarn. Like where I live, I'm close to the ocean. I'm close to the mountain to ski. I'm close to Rhinebeck. I'm close to the city, New York City. I'm close to the tri-state area. I'm not too far from DC if I want to go down to DC. So I really like it. What? But yeah, if you ever want to go to Rhinebeck, and if you live nearby, if you want to say hi or meet up when we're in Rhinebeck in the future, let me know. But until then, be brave, be original, people. You know, I know we love yarn, but do we all need to be lambs? And zero subscribers. Anyway, be brave, knit what you want, love what you knit. If clue number whatever is really killing you, stop working on a mystery knit along. Okay, definitely no one is subscribing to my YouTube. Anyway, have a have a good weekend. Bye.